The jungles of South America whispered a tale of a city of gold. This was El Dorado, the legendary city that haunted the dreams of explorers and conquistadors for centuries. The legend was born from the Muisca people of Colombia. They told stories of a king who coated himself in gold dust and made offerings to the gods in a sacred lake. This legend, passed from tribe to tribe, eventually reached the ears of the Spanish conquistadors who arrived in the New World in the 16th century. They were hungry for gold and glory. The tale of El Dorado ignited their imaginations, fueling their insatiable desire for riches. The myth became a siren song, drawing them deeper and deeper into the heart of the unknown. The Spanish conquistadors, hardened by years of conquest, were captivated by the promise of El Dorado. They envisioned cities gleaming with gold and jewels, a prize beyond their wildest dreams. The lure of such wealth was irresistible. It set off a chain reaction of expeditions, each more determined than the last to find the fabled city. The myth of El Dorado spread like wildfire throughout Europe. It became a symbol of untold riches and the ultimate prize for ambitious adventurers. The legend transformed the unexplored lands of South America into a land of immense opportunity and peril. The Muisca people who inhabited the highlands of present-day Colombia were skilled goldsmiths. They crafted exquisite pieces that reflected their reverence for nature and their connection to the divine. The legend of El Dorado was intertwined with their sacred rituals. It revolved around a king who would cover himself in gold dust and offer golden treasures to the gods in Lake Guatavita. This ritual, performed for generations, was more than just a display of wealth. It was a profound act of religious devotion. The Muisca believed that by offering their most precious material to the gods, they ensured the prosperity and well-being of their people. The legend of El Dorado, therefore, was not just about material wealth, but about a sacred covenant between the Muisca and their deities. However, the Spanish conquistadors, blinded by their lust for gold, misinterpreted the legend. They saw only the gold and not the spiritual significance it held for the Muisca. They were driven by a desire for conquest and enrichment, far removed from the reverence the Muisca held for their sacred lake and their golden offerings. The conquistadors' perception of El Dorado as a city of gold ripe for the taking set them on a collision course with the indigenous populations. They were ill-prepared to understand the cultural context of the legend and its true meaning for the Muisca people. Their pursuit of El Dorado would have devastating consequences for the indigenous populations they encountered, forever altering the course of history in South America. The legend of El Dorado unleashed a wave of expeditions across South America. Explorers from all corners of Europe set sail, driven by the promise of unimaginable wealth. They ventured into uncharted territories, facing treacherous jungles, scorching deserts, and towering mountains. These journeys were fueled by ambition, but also by competition. Each explorer sought to be the first to uncover the secrets of El Dorado. They risked everything, their lives and their fortunes, in pursuit of this elusive prize. The race for El Dorado became a testament to the lengths that humans would go to in their pursuit of wealth and glory. One of the most famous expeditions was led by Gonzalo Pizarro, the half-brother of Francisco Pizarro, the conqueror of the Inca Empire. In 1541, Pizarro set out from Quito with hundreds of men and horses, lured by tales of a kingdom overflowing with gold. His journey was fraught with hardship and disaster. He faced starvation, disease, and relentless attacks from hostile natives. Another notable expedition was led by Sir Walter Raleigh, the English explorer and courtier. Raleigh made 2 expeditions to South America in the late 16th century, hoping to find El Dorado and establish English colonies in the region. He believed that El Dorado lay in the heart of Guyana, a region of dense rainforests and vast rivers. His expeditions, though ultimately unsuccessful, helped to fuel the legend of El Dorado and inspired further exploration. The relentless pursuit of El Dorado had a devastating impact on the indigenous populations of South America. The conquistadors, driven by their insatiable greed, inflicted untold suffering upon the native people they encountered. They exploited their labor, plundered their resources, and introduced diseases that decimated their populations. The arrival of the Europeans disrupted the delicate balance of life that had existed in South America for centuries. ancient cultures were destroyed and entire civilizations were brought to the brink of collapse. The quest for El Dorado, fueled by myth and greed, left an indelible scar on the continent and its people. The Muisca people, from whom the legend of El Dorado originated, suffered greatly under Spanish rule. Their sacred sites were desecrated, their rituals were suppressed, and their people were forced to convert to Christianity. The Spanish conquistadors, blinded by their lust for gold, failed to comprehend the spiritual significance of El Dorado for the Muisca. They saw only the promise of material wealth, disregarding the cultural and religious beliefs that were at the heart of the legend. The quest for El Dorado also had a profound environmental impact. The explorers, desperate to find the mythical city, cleared vast swathes of rainforest, disrupted ecosystems, and introduced foreign species that altered the delicate balance of nature. The pursuit of a legend left an environmental legacy that continues to resonate today. While the conquistadors searched for a city of gold, they often overlooked the true riches of the land. The rainforests and mountains of South America held a wealth of natural resources, gold and silver, but also precious gemstones, medicinal plants, and fertile lands. The irony is that the explorers were surrounded by abundance, yet they remained fixated on the elusive promise of El Dorado. Their obsession blinded them to the true wealth that lay within their grasp. They sought a city of gold, but they failed to see the gold mine that was the natural world around them. The indigenous people understood the value of their environment. They lived in harmony with nature, respecting its cycles and utilizing its resources sustainably. They possessed knowledge of medicinal plants and agricultural techniques that could have benefited the explorers. However, the conquistadors, blinded by their greed and their sense of superiority, dismissed the wisdom of the indigenous people as primitive. In their relentless pursuit of El Dorado, the explorers missed an opportunity to learn from the native populations and to establish a more equitable and sustainable relationship with the land. They sought to conquer and exploit rather than to understand and coexist. Their failure to recognize the true riches of South America stands as a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed and the importance of respecting the natural world. Section 6. The endurance of a myth El Dorado in modern times. Centuries have passed since the height of the El Dorado craze, yet the legend lives on. It continues to captivate the imagination, inspiring books, films, and video games. The mythical city of gold has transcended its historical context to become a universal symbol of wealth, adventure, and the pursuit of the unattainable. El Dorado, stripped of its historical baggage, has become an allegory for the human condition. It represents our innate desire to explore the unknown, to seek out new frontiers, and to strive for something beyond our reach. It embodies the spirit of adventure and the allure of the impossible. Moreover, the legend of El Dorado serves as a reminder of the power of stories. Stories have the ability to shape our perceptions, to fuel our desires, and to drive us to great lengths. The tale of El Dorado, passed down through generations, has left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. Today, the search for El Dorado continues, but it takes on a different form. Instead of searching for a literal city of gold, we seek our own versions of El Dorado in our careers, our relationships, and our personal pursuits. We are driven by the same human desires that motivated the explorers of old: the longing for fulfillment, the pursuit of happiness, and the hope of finding something extraordinary. Section 7. Lessons from the Jungle, El Dorado, and the Human Condition. The enduring allure of El Dorado offers valuable lessons about human nature. It highlights our capacity for both great ambition and destructive greed. The explorers who risked their lives in the pursuit of this mythical city demonstrated remarkable courage and determination. However, their quest was often fueled by avarice and a disregard for the indigenous populations they encountered. El Dorado serves as a potent reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition. The conquistadors' lust for gold blinded them to the human cost of their actions. They inflicted immense suffering on the indigenous people, driven by a relentless pursuit of wealth that ultimately proved futile. The legend also highlights the importance of cultural understanding and respect. The conquistadors' failure to grasp the spiritual significance of El Dorado for the Muisca people led to tragic consequences. Their ethnocentric worldview prevented them from appreciating the rich cultural tapestry of the Americas. The story of El Dorado, therefore, is not just a tale of adventure and exploration. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed, the importance of cultural sensitivity, and the enduring power of myths to shape human behavior. Section 8. From Myth to History, Separating Fact from Fantasy. Over the centuries, the legend of El Dorado has become intertwined with historical fact, making it difficult to separate truth from fiction. While the existence of a literal city of gold is highly improbable, the legend was rooted in real historical events and cultural practices. The Muisca people's tradition of adorning their king in gold dust and making offerings in Lake Guatavita is well documented. Archaeological evidence supports these accounts, with golden artifacts recovered from the lake and surrounding areas. These findings provide a tangible link to the origins of the El Dorado legend, grounding the myth in historical reality. Furthermore, the expeditions undertaken in search of El Dorado, though ultimately unsuccessful in their primary goal, contributed significantly to European knowledge of South America. Explorers mapped uncharted territories, documented new plant and animal species, and established contact with previously unknown indigenous groups. While the quest for El Dorado was driven by a fantastical legend, it had a profound impact on the course of history. It led to the European colonization of South America, the decimation of indigenous populations, and the exploitation of the continent's vast natural resources. Section 9. The enduring allure of El Dorado. The legend of El Dorado continues to fascinate and inspire us today. It speaks to a deep-seated human desire for adventure, wealth, and the unknown. While we may no longer believe in a literal city of gold, the idea of El Dorado still holds a powerful allure. El Dorado represents the ultimate prize, the elusive goal that we all strive for in our own lives. It is a reminder that there are still mysteries to be uncovered, frontiers to be explored, and dreams to be pursued. And while the search for El Dorado may ultimately be a journey of self-discovery, it is a journey that continues to captivate and inspire us. The legend of El Dorado, passed down through generations, remains a testament to the power of storytelling and the enduring human spirit of exploration. It is a story that will continue to be told and retold, inspiring new generations to seek out their own versions of El Dorado.